Your $50 air filter could be the reason your engine dies at 80,000 miles. That's not a scare tactic. That's a fact mechanics are begging you to hear before you walk into the parts store and grab whatever's cheapest on the shelf. Today you're going to find out exactly which 7 air filter brands are quietly starving your engine, clogging your sensors, and setting you up for a 5-figure repair bill you never saw coming. This isn't about brand loyalty or price tags. This is about protecting the one part of your car that keeps every other part alive. Stick with me because number 1 on this list is sitting in millions of driveways right now, and there's a good chance it's sitting in yours. Number 7 is AC Delco, the store brand special sitting right at the checkout counter under $10, and you grab it because the name sounds factory approved. But here's the trap. AC Delco splits its lineup into 2 tiers, genuine GM original equipment and a cheaper aftermarket line. And it's the aftermarket version doing the damage. Teardown comparisons on a Duramax diesel found the OEM filter packed with 125 pleats, while the aftermarket version had just 75, a 40% drop in filtering surface area. Another side-by-side test showed the aftermarket AC Delco with only 53 pleats compared to a Wix at 79, and a genuine OEM AC Delco at 120. Owners report rubber seals too thick to seat properly, forcing you to jam the airbox shut and hope for the best. And some report a loose gasket ring left rattling inside the housing on a 2009 Duramax, a gasket that's supposed to be sealing your engine, not sitting forgotten in the bottom of your airbox. That gap becomes a highway for dust straight into your intake, choking your airflow and starving your engine of clean air. This is a $10 gamble wearing a trusted logo, and your engine pays the price for the disguise. Number 6 is Super Tech, the filter you've bought without thinking twice for decades, sitting on shelves at every Walmart in the country. You trust the price because it's everywhere, but familiarity is not the same as quality. Independent teardown testing shows Super Tech uses inconsistent foam density around the seal, meaning the edges never compress evenly against your airbox lid. Owners report these filters clogging almost twice as fast as premium alternatives, choking your airflow at just 3,000 miles instead of 6,000, which means you're paying for a filter change twice as often just to keep your engine breathing. A choked filter means a rich fuel mixture. That means your gas mileage tanks, and that means dirty air pouring straight into your engine every single mile you drive. And here's the part nobody talks about. That same dust that slips past the thin media doesn't just disappear, it settles directly onto your mass air flow sensor. And a dirty mass air flow sensor means a check engine light and a repair bill that can run past $300. Don't let a familiar logo fool you into a costly mistake. Number 5 is EcoGuard, the budget staple flooding auto parts shelves with a price so low it feels like a steal. But real-world teardown data tells a different story. With independent testing showing EcoGuard lets through 491 particles per gram of capacity, more than double what Wix allows at just 198. A Kia owner confirmed the included gasket is noticeably thinner than the original equipment seal, warning that skipping a gasket swap means unfiltered air leaking straight through the gap. A Toyota Tundra owner backed this up, saying the rubber seal on the EcoGuard is slightly thinner than the original, and they ended up returning it because they didn't want to risk dust getting into their engine. A Honda Civic owner reported warped edges that wouldn't sit flush, rippling the seal as they tightened the airbox cover and letting the entire filter slide around inside the housing. And they admitted it was incredibly difficult to keep the seal tight even after installation. This is not a discount, it's a slow-motion financial disaster wearing a bargain price tag. Number 4 is EP Auto, the performance darling flooding Amazon with thousands of 5-star reviews and a price that feels impossible to beat. The problem is what's hiding behind those stars. Independent particle testing shows EP Auto allows 52 fine particles per gram of capacity to slip straight past the media, sending sand-sized debris grinding against your piston rings and cylinder walls every single time you start your car. Fleet oil analysis on vehicles running EP Auto filters consistently shows silicon contamination levels exceeding 15 parts per million. A red flag mechanics recognize instantly as unfiltered dirt working its way through your engine and shortening its life mile by mile. The capacity problem makes things worse too. with testing on differential pressure showing EP auto filters restrict airflow much faster than premium alternatives, meaning rough idle, sluggish acceleration, and reduced gas mileage creep in long before you'd expect a filter change. Owners report thin, flimsy rubber seals that fail to compress properly around the edges, similar to the same seal issues plaguing EcoGuard. You're trading a 5-star review for a ticking time bomb sitting under your hood. Number 3 is K&N, the oiled cotton filter promising extra horsepower and a throatier intake sound that enthusiasts swear by. The problem is that oil. When these filters are over-oiled, and most owners over-oil them without realizing it, that excess coats your mass air flow sensor and triggers a rough idle, a hesitation on acceleration, and a check engine light you did not ask for. Multiple dealerships have documented sensor failures tied directly to K&N filters, and yes, some have used it to void warranty claims entirely, though K&N disputes the damage after testing over 300 failed sensors themselves and finding zero link to their oil. Automotive forums point out K&N's own efficiency testing uses coarse dust particles up to 76 microns, while the 5 to 20 micron particles that actually destroy your cylinder walls slip right through undetected. K&N claims overall efficiency between 96 and 99%, but that number means very little if it's measured against the wrong size dirt entirely. You're trading 2 extra horsepower for a ticking time bomb sitting on top of your intake. Number 2 is Fram, the extra guard filter that markets itself as extra protection, extra everything. And you'll find it at literally every store you walk into. But independent testing shows Fram's extra guard line only stops about 95% of particles down to 20 microns, while premium filters hit 99% or better. That 4% gap sounds tiny until you realize it's thousands of extra dust particles grinding through your engine every single drive you take. Consumer Reports flags recurring seal problems, gaskets popping out of position during install, forcing owners to use extra sealant just to keep the airbox closed and sealed properly. In independent particle testing, Fram allowed over 300 particles per gram of capacity to slip past, more than most owners would ever guess from a brand this trusted. Fram claims its extra guard provides double the protection of standard retail filters, but that number is self-reported from their own lab, not independently verified by anyone outside the company. It won't kill your engine overnight, but it will nickel and dime your engine's lifespan into an early grave. Number 1, the biggest betrayal of them all, is Beck Arnley, the certified aftermarket line sold with the promise of meeting original equipment form, fit, and function. You assume that promise means factory quality, but that assumption is costing owners thousands of dollars in repairs they never expected. Independent particle testing ranks Beck Arnley dead last among every brand tested, allowing 628 particles past the barrier for every gram of holding capacity, over 3 times more dirt than wicks at just 198. A Jaguar owner reported a foam seal 2 mm too thick to slide into the housing at all, and multiple Mazda owners described the gasket popping loose entirely when tightened, requiring extra sealant just to keep dust out of the intake. Cabin filter reviews from this same brand describe HVAC systems becoming noticeably louder after installation, a telltale sign the media is too dense and restricting airflow, forcing your blower motor to work harder than it should ever have to. If the seal doesn't fit and the filtration doesn't work, you are paying a premium price for absolutely nothing but the name printed on the box. So here's what you need to remember before your next trip to the parts store. The filter guarding your engine is not the place to gamble on a cheap logo or a flashy marketing claim. Because the $10 you save today can turn into a repair bill worth thousands tomorrow. Your engine will never forgive a filter that let dirt in from day one, and by the time you notice the symptoms, the damage is already done. Before your next oil change, check exactly what's sitting inside your airbox right now, because your engine's entire lifespan might be hanging on that one decision. If you want to know which filters actually protect your engine and are worth every extra dollar, that video is coming next, so make sure you don't miss it.